breaking news. This is the final chance you'll have to employ this strategy. So, is it worth trying? The strategy I'm talking about is that a game built on Telegram, but it's launching on a different chain. For example, in the past, we've had MemeFi and To Market, among probably some other games, that have been built on Telegram and everyone's played it on Telegram, but then instead of launching on Ton, it launches on a different blockchain. It's funny because neither of those games did very well at all, but I actually think there are a few games right now that are launching on other chains that could do pretty well. But recent news from Ton and Telegram could change this. Hey everyone, it's Lathaz here. We're halfway through January in 2025 and we're starting to look at which games on Telegram are worth farming. So I've got a series of videos of a few different things that I think you should be looking for in a Telegram game. One of those I think is launching on a different blockchain. So let's have a look at that. I've got a list of 5 games today that will be listing on a different chain other than Ton. And there also might be another 3 that I'm going to add on at the end that could be as well. But let's look at the recent news here that could change all of this. And this might not be a thing after Feb 21st. Telegram and Ton are going exclusive. Now, if you don't know much about this, the Ton blockchain was originally built as the blockchain for Telegram, but then it was made a separate blockchain later and was meant to be separate, but still kind of working together. Well, here they're taking their partnership to another level, meaning that all Telegram games now must be launching on Ton. All mini apps on Telegram will now exclusively use Ton as their blockchain infrastructure. All mini apps that don't currently use Ton should migrate by February 21st, 2025. Also, Ton Connect, which is how you link your wallet to the app itself, that will become the exclusive wallet integration protocol for all Telegram mini apps. Looking through the comments on this, everyone who's like a Ton maxi, they want this because this sounds amazing to them. But as somebody who uses lots of other chains as well, and Ton is just one of the chains that I use, personally, I actually think this is a negative thing because I think it's blocking out some of the games that would have been coming to Telegram because now they would have to list on Ton when they've already got a project somewhere else. I actually thought that Telegram mini apps were a great way for new Web3 games to be built because firstly, they're easier to develop. Secondly, they're a lot easier to find and use for people who aren't on blockchains already. And thirdly, they could easily be ported over to become just an iOS or Android app in the future if Apple and Google ended up allowing that. If we look at the recent history of the Ton blockchain, things haven't gone too well for the airdrops that have come on there. The only airdrops that have done reasonably well are ones that are connected very closely with the Ton ecosystem. This is things like Notcoin, who clearly have an in with Ton. Or even Major, that was also another one that has very close ties to Ton. It might be controversial, but I do think this was something that should have been left open. Most of the mini apps that were being built on it were using the Ton blockchain anyway, so it's not really changing too much on that side. It's more just stopping some of these other bigger projects coming to launch. If you remember Axie Infinity from last cycle, this was a game that was built on Ronin, and it did really, really well. Like I'm talking, it went massive. And imagine they didn't have their own token, and then they started to launch like a mini version of their game in the Telegram mini app. Well, now they're stuck having built on Ronin, but now they've got to list their token on Ton, as far as I'm aware. I just think it's a negative thing because if we had something like Axie Infinity coming across to make a Telegram mini app with almost 1 million followers, wouldn't that be better than making it closed? Anyway, let's look at some of the games that I think still could launch on a different chain before that Feb 21st date. In some ways, this is going to work out nicely for us because these 5 games are either going to have to launch before Feb 21st or they're going to last longer and then end up moving to Ton. Let's hope it's the first option. The first one on this list is Pause. This game has already finished farming, but you can still go on and explore Ton here, which means that you basically can buy up more of these WPause tokens if you like, or you could also upgrade your voting badge to one of these higher tiers. So although you can't farm it, you still can get more of an allocation if you have farmed it in the past. That's why it's still on this list. But the thing about Pause is that it's launching on Solana. As well as launching on Solana, they also have this hat on the paw here. And that's not just any hat, that is the hat for Dogwif Hat. This is the 5th biggest meme coin on Solana right now. So if they're partnered with them, that's an extremely bullish thing to me. Also, how about that Trump coin? That was mental. If you haven't already, make sure that you have at least one of these voting badges and that you've got some of these WPAWs. The second one is Seed. And this game has also already finished farming, but I've got it on this list because if you own it, I think it might be a really positive thing for you because they're launching on Sui. Spoke about Seed on my last video and showed part of the clip of the amazing game that they look like they're building, but they've given a bit of an update to the community on what happens when you hold the Seed Birds NFTs. It says here that airdrop seed tokens will be based on your NFT holdings. Whitelist slots for seed mon minting will also come from this as well. They haven't seemed to have said anywhere that you can't buy more of these seed birds now. So this is a good chance to go on and do this. I'll put the link in the description, but here you can go on and buy some of these seed NFTs. So if you've been farming seed already, I would recommend get on here and potentially buy a couple of these now as well. Also, if you're new to crypto and you don't know too much about Sui chain, Sui is one of the biggest, fastest growing chains at the moment. And they seem like they've been taking their time to list on Sui, and that I think they've been making some pretty good relationships there. So that's why I've got Sui as number 2 on the list. Moving on to number 3, this is Birds. If you haven't played Birds before, this is quite similar to Seed, really. Basically, you were getting this bird, you then had to feed it, and you would send it out to do little quests for you. Birds has also built a Sui wallet inside of it as well. And it says down the bottom here that AI games, AI agents, NFT marketplace, DeFi, and more are all coming to Birds. And this one is also powered by Sui. If you're not massive into crypto, AI agents, DeFi, they are two of the biggest narratives at the moment, and obviously just AI in general. I don't know what exactly makes this an AI game, but I mean, they're trying to use the buzzword, I suppose. They did make a post a week ago talking about the tokenomics and how instead of trying to list straight away, they are still trying to make sure that they build a sustainable foundation. They also want to give recognition to the OG players as well. If you're not playing this one already, jump onto it. You can buy your way up to the max level here that I've managed to get to just by kind of grinding at it over time. And the fact that they're with Sui, but they've also been talking about these tokenomics, leads me to think they're going to have to list before February 21st. Number 4 is Korora Ranch. This is a perfect example of the sort of thing I was talking about earlier in the video, where this is a game that has been built outside of Telegram. They're building this game called Korora Wilds, which looks really cool, but it takes a long time to develop because it's a full-on game, right? They're building something that looks really similar to Pokemon, but with the new rules, they wouldn't want to come to the Telegram blockchain because they've already built this stuff on another blockchain, which is Ronin, which is the same one that Axie Infinity was built on. Now, not that many people are playing Korora Ranch from what I can tell. Looking at the Korora Ranch official community channel, they only have 226,000 monthly users, or 168,000 subscribers. For a project that's been around for a long time, that's a fairly small amount of users. I do think there is still time to get on Korora Ranch and try and get at least a minimum allocation there. And this is a token that actually has some sort of utility in a future game that looks really cool. It's not like a token that's just going to be on Ton and never is going to do anything else. If you don't know how to play this one, basically you're getting these shards down here, and then you're going to be clicking on that and trying to make your buddy feel better. Once your buddy is full, you then start getting these tokens, which you can then use to do upgrades on all these different things here, or you can buy boosters. Of the boosters, make sure you buy these raffle tickets. They're the most important thing. When you get one of those raffle tickets, you can then go in here and click redeem tickets. Then you go and click spin the wheel here, and you see what rewards you get. Some of the rewards are these treasure eggs, which at their hatching event will probably give you some tokens. You can also get some of the Kuro tokens right here as well. I don't know how big this airdrop is going to be, but there's not that many people playing it, and they're building a really cool game. And so if that game becomes worth a lot, well, now those tokens that we got are going to be worth a lot too. The 5th one on our list is Lumina Hunt. Now, I'll be honest, I actually haven't played this game nearly as much as I think I should have. I have referred some people that have gone on to play this game a lot and get a really high level, so I'm hoping that helps me a bit. But it's something that I'm going to start farming even harder because they're going to be launching on the Ronin chain as well. Lumina Hunt is actually a game built by Tatsumiko. This is the Tatsumiko website, which looks absolutely amazing, and they're building a fantasy life sim RPG. Personally, this doesn't really look like the sort of game that I would like to play myself, but again, it's one of those games that has a big audience outside of Telegram. The way you can tell that is that they have 16,000 monthly users only, but if you look at their Twitter page, they have 300,000 followers. On January 7th, Ronin actually made this tweet posting about what Lumina Fates is going to be and how they've got Telegram integration with their spin-off called Lumina Hunt. Again, this is what I'm talking about, where some of these big games aren't going to be able to have these little spin-offs on Telegram anymore. Lumina Fates, players battle in turn-based combat, forge alliances, and complete quests with friends, furnish the interior of their homes, and more. The live Telegram version is a casual, idle version of the full game. I'm just going to start farming this game more now, which means that I think you also have an opportunity to start this game right now too. I said I was only going to do 5, but I've come up with a 6th one, and it is Wagm Hub. As far as I can tell, this one is going to be launching on Near Protocol, which as you can see here is a blockchain for AI. And that's exactly what Wagm Hub is trying to do. They're trying to be an AI multi-chain infrastructure focused on supporting post-launch meme coin growth. The Wagm Hub game is a very simple one. You just have to claim your tokens every 24 hours or whatever it is. And then you use the balance that you have to upgrade these two things. So either how many tokens you're getting per hour or the time in which you have to come back on and farm. You can also earn from some of these tasks, but for me, because I'm a higher level already, it doesn't really move the needle too much for me now. They do also have an inbuilt wallet in their app. And they've recently added this AI Insights tab, which apparently these tokens that they've put forward actually have done reasonably well. They do say they're going to be multi-chain, so I don't know for sure if that means they're going to list on TON or not, but based on the other things that I've seen, I don't think they will be. And the fact that the Near Protocol chain is pumping them up leads me to think they're probably going to launch there, which I think is the better option anyway, because Near is focused on AI infrastructure, and so is Wagm. I should say as well, Wagm Hub was formerly known as Cyber Finance if you might have been farming it a while ago. This is one that I think could launch before that Feb 21st date. Got 2 bonus ones for you. This is Ton Combat. Now, you might be thinking, why is this on this list? Because I don't think they're going to be launching elsewhere. They literally have Ton in the name. And that's probably true, but the reason why I think this could be the case is that they are actually a Seed Combinator project. Not only are they being supported by Seed, but they also have integrated the Seed Bird NFTs into their game. So this one may launch on TON, it may not, I'm not exactly sure, but just wanted to put that one out there as well. The other bonus one is Wizwoods. Now, although here it says that they're about connecting chains and having interchain gameplay, again, they have their Wiz token, and I don't know where that's going to launch. The reason why I think it could launch elsewhere is because they're also being built on Berachain and Tabby Chain as well. Will they launch on TON? Potentially, but they also could launch elsewhere. Wizwoods is actually a unique game because you can play it on X, Twitter, and on Telegram. They do that because they want to be able to bring the next generation of Web3 users from Web 2 social platforms. And this is what I loved about this idea of using Telegram as that gateway layer to try and bring on new users. You can see their partnership with Tabby Chain, TON blockchain, and Berachain. This actually leads me to a good point here, because what could be the case is that these tokens may launch on TON originally to comply with these rules from Telegram. Then they might have like a bridge that goes from TON to a different chain to where they kind of want to be as their home place. Or they could also launch the token on multiple different chains and then have just a multi-chain token. So what do you think? Do you think launching on a chain other than TON is more beneficial for these projects, and could our airdrop be bigger? And what do you think about this news between Telegram and TON where they're going to have this exclusive partnership? Put your thoughts in the comments or jump into my Telegram channel and you can chat about it there. And although I talk about a lot of airdrop farming opportunities on Telegram, I also talk about a lot of other things. And some of the biggest airdrops are probably going to be off of Telegram as well. So make sure you keep following me because I've got some news about that coming up soon. Okay, I just finished filming this video and I've come across something that could be a big change, partly I think because of what Telegram and TON just decided to do. Shout out to my friend Crazy 8 Crypto for putting me onto this one. Make sure you go and give him a follow and hit that bell icon as well. What he found out is that Captain Tsubasa, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but they just made this post before saying that now Captain Tsubasa Rivals is now available online, which I've heard of Line before. It's a messaging app as well, but I've never used it before. Anyway, I started to dive a little bit deeper. They've made something called their DApp portal, which seems to have some of the games from Telegram. You can see that that's Bombi back there. There's Tsubasa Rivals. And there's been a few other ones that have been launched on there recently as well. So DApp portal is online and it's powered by Kaya Chain, which is kind of like Telegram having TON as their blockchain. I don't know if some of these mini apps were seeing what was coming and could see that Telegram and TON were going to make this sort of deal, but there are a lot of these games that are now moving, or at least being on both Telegram and online. Anyway, I'm going to make a full video about this because I think this could change things a little bit, but I just wanted to let you know, at least at the end of this video. So if you've watched all the way to the end, you'll know this information and nobody else will yet. This could be a super early rotation. We might be able to get the first and often the biggest airdrop on this Kaya chain or from one of these games online. Is this the end for TON blockchain? Well, I don't know, probably not that dramatic, but might be something to look into. All right, that's it. Happy tapping. See ya.